Hello, Internet Magic Man here once again with some new Final Fantasy TCG content. Finally, it's been a while since I posted the original training series videos, the in-depth training series videos, for those of you that have maybe played a few games and wanted to get more into it and into maybe the competitive side. And so we're back, finally. I've reworked the schedule, so should see content on a more consistent basis here. Not every day. That's just craziness, but a little bit more consistent. So I thought we'd come back with something fun before we get back to some more instructional videos. Today, we're going to kick off the Final Fantasy TCG, the FFTCG Rulings Quiz. So for those of you that are ready, we're going to have 5 questions here concerning different rulings on different cards throughout Opus sets. Now, I want to put a little disclaimer here. This video is not, just like previous videos, geared for the ultra-competitive that are already ingrained and they live it and they breathe it and they know the rulings and all that stuff. Nor is it for the absolute beginner. I'm kind of taking you from that beginner status and pushing you towards the more experienced player. So right kind of in the middle. But that said, I think everybody's going to enjoy it. So I encourage you to go ahead and take the quiz, even if you've been playing since launch and you're a world championship level player. That said, don't get caught up in individual cards. Yes, this is going to be a fun rulings quiz, and I'm going to use specific cards for specific questions and specific examples. But along the way, I'm going to be discussing concepts, which is the more important aspect of this video quiz. Don't just get locked into the ruling on the specific card in the question. Think about the way it applies globally to other summons, other forwards, other ability interactions, other specials. That's what this is for, and I'll provide tips for that along the way. My whole point is just don't get caught up on the specific cards. Oftentimes, you'll be looking for a ruling for a specific situation that you had happen in a game online and you can't find it anywhere because it's an odd situation with a card that maybe isn't in the meta right now and played by a lot of people, that maybe not only is it a bit more of a unique card, but it bounced up against a bit of a more unique card as far as decks and flavors go. So don't get caught up in just the specific cards. There's going to be a lot in these videos that you can apply to other cards. I want you to understand the concepts, not just giving you the ruling on how this one particular card works. So with that said, let's get started with question number 1. I want to put an important note here for my friends watching this on a mobile device. During the quiz, I'll be giving options on the screen that you can click on and select to move forward in the quiz. However, on mobile devices, those links may not function right on the video as they would on a PC. So, for those of you taking the quiz on mobile, in the description for each of the questions below, I will include which answers go to which links so that you can choose your answer from the video description and be taken to the correct portion of the quiz. All right. Question number 1 has to do with everybody's favorite summon in the game right now, and that's the Opus 5 legendary card Diabolos for 5 wind CP. You can select up to 2 of the following 4 actions. Choose 1 forward of cost 5 or more and break it. Choose 1 forward of cost 4 or less until the end of turn its power becomes 1000. Activate all the forwards you control and activate all the backups you control. So, upon cast, you get to select up to 2 of those 4 modes. And for our example, we're going to assume that you've selected 2 modes. You've got a nice, fat, juicy 5 cost or more forward on your opponent's board. You want to get rid of that, and you also wanted to help negate the cost of Diabolos a little bit, so you're going to pick to activate your backups. So you've selected 2 modes. Side note, when it says up to on these summons, keep in mind you do not have to choose 2, and sometimes it is in your benefit not to choose 2 and have something wonky end up canceling your entire plan. So keep that in mind. In our example, though, you've got a fat, juicy 5 CP or more right on the board. You want to wipe that out, and you want to mitigate the cost, so you also opt to activate your backups. Upon playing this card, your opponent responds with Famfrit and slaps that baby down, figuring, if I'm going to lose a big juicy forward, you're going to lose a big juicy forward in return. Now, since Famfrit entered the stack second, it goes off first, destroying one of your forwards, whichever you selected, and taking out Diabolus's juicy target. That's good for you, right? That's the forward you wanted off the board to begin with. Yeah, you really didn't want to lose a forward in return, but maybe the trade-off worked in your favor. Here's where your question comes in. Do your backups still get to activate off of Diabolos? Remember, you chose to nuke a 5-cost or more forward and activate your backups. But by the time Diabolos was ready to resolve, your choose one target of that 5 CP or greater forward was gone. Do you still get to activate your backups? If you think the answer is yes, of course I get to activate my backups, well then click here. If you think the answer is nope, you don't get to activate those backups anymore, click here. Ready? Go.